for you. 128 at Grove Street on the Needham line. Traffic is still backed up for several miles. However, the Mass Pike is looking a bit better. Earlier, about an hour ago, there was a massive backup there for miles and miles, but that area has cleared. However, the same cannot be said for the Southeast Expressway at the Mass Ave at the connector. Apparently, a tour bus has become stuck in that location, and there is a severe backup at the Southeast Expressway at the Mass Ave connector. So to give you a recap, 128 at Grove Street and Needham line, miles and miles and miles of people stuck in traffic. They're all trying to get to that T-stop to make their way down here to these locations for the rolling rally. The Mass Pike is looking a bit better. However, the Southeast Expressway at Mass Ave at the connector, severe backup in that location, miles long, because a tour bus apparently is stuck in that location. Once you get here, though, you will be greeted with lots of very excited fans waiting to see their players, their World Series champions on the duck boat, working their way through the crowd, waving at lots of people. We are here at the Beacon Hill studio. People are running down the street trying to get to the location to see these duck boats roll through the streets in about 10 minutes or so. That's the latest from this location. Mark and Maria, back over to you.
Q, thank you very much. To see the duck boats, and it was interesting to hear the duck boat drivers. They're fired up about this. They remember 04 and said it was a wild time out there on those boats. Said they couldn't hear themselves think it was so loud.
You know what I remember from 2004, because we were lucky enough to, have the World Series on Fox and go through the whole thing. It was so striking to see the players just getting right, in people's faces, taking pictures of the crowd. They love it as much as the crowd does. They absolutely do, because they've worked hard. They've been down to business this whole year, and today is the day where they come here and they look at it and they say, you know what? We love this. We love being your world champions.
They want to let loose. I mean, think about, guys, how intense it's been since October 1st. These guys are at a level that probably a lot of us can't relate to for a long period of time. We saw Papelbon after that game 4. He looked exhausted.
Yeah, but picture's worth 1,000 words.
Exactly. His eyes, I mean, he just looked tired. But today they got a day of rest. They're here with the fans. I mean, they're going to thrive off the energy of the crowd out here.
Oh, they will.
And it is party time for them as well. They're going to get in every little bit of this. They're going to get every ounce.
And can you imagine the rookies? They're probably just, they're just thinking, I cannot believe it. I mean, truthfully, Jacoby Ellsbury could have been one of these people out here. When he was in college, we keep saying that, in 2004. He could have been one of the people out here rooting on the Red Sox.
I mean, he was in the minor leagues just a couple months ago. He got that late season call-up, started hitting the ball, and then we talked about it earlier, Terry Francona's key decision, the button he pushed to get him involved, get him in the lineup, and now he's going to be here for years to come.
And the thing about it is they can ask the veterans what it's going to be like. They've asked them about different things along the way throughout the playoffs. Now they're going to ask about the parade. What's it going to be like? They have absolutely no idea. Even if they're told in the best possible description, they have no idea what's ahead of them.
Especially Jacoby and Pedroia. They're not from around here, from Oregon, from California. I don't think they can imagine what this scene is going to be like during the route.
They will be, believe me, they will be blown away for sure. It's like nothing you've ever seen. Let's go to Copley Square and let's go to Fenway Park, where it's all about to begin. Mr. Butch Stearns. Hey, Butch.
Hey, guys, keep your eye on the pink boat that you're seeing in front of us there. You've got the members of the bullpen, Manny Del Carmen, Kyle Snyder, Eric Gagne. They have their instruments. You saw them all during the playoffs playing in the band. I just had Manny Del Carmen's attention. I'm trying to get him again. But they're going to be playing their instruments as they did in the playoffs during the parade. See if we can get Manny Del Carmen's attention here again to look up here. And he was holding his drumsticks up. They've been warming up here. They've got Corey Lopez, as you can see the names on the side of the boat, and they're going to be playing. They've been rehearsing. It looks like Javi Lopez and Manny Del Carmen are going to be the band leaders there. Mike Timlin is not on that boat, but you do have the 6 members of the bullpen, and they've all got their instruments with them. So keep an eye on that pink boat as it goes through, and they're going to be entertaining the crowd as they did in the postseason on that boat. So that's a pretty cool little sidebar for us here. It seems like most of the players are here. The only ones I haven't seen are Daisuke Matsuzaka and Manny Ramirez. So I was told earlier that everybody was here. I'm assuming they are. So let's go back to Kim and Gene now, but that's going to be cool. We're going to have the bullpen members playing in their band.
It's going to be really awesome, Butch. I just hope we can hear them. I hope they've got some kind of microphone system set up there, because I know when those boats roll through, the crowd gets very, very excited and loud. And by the way, Gene,
yes.
If you look behind us here at the corner of Boylston and Dartmouth, look what this crowd has done.
Yeah, it's grown
quadruple?
exponentially here.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people in business suits coming out of their offices here in Copley Square and in the area, coming down to take part of this and see what's going on. So it's kind of an eclectic gathering.
Yeah, it sure is. Look up on the buildings, and
Yeah.
you're starting to see people
Up on the rooftops,
Yeah.
and they've etched some messages into the business windows here. So we're ready down here, and so is just about everybody else. We're just a couple minutes away. So we're going to take a quick time out. We're going to come back and bring you complete live coverage of the Red Sox rolling rally right here on Fox 25.
Well, here's another happy consumer filling her gas tank.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, what are you gonna do, sell your car?
Actually, I just refinanced my car. That really cut my payment.
You can do that?
You can if you call DCU.
DCU?
I do everything there now.
Keep your car, but trade your loan. Call DCU for a refinancing estimate.
So why don't you call DCU? You do have a car, right?
Yeah, several.
A true reflection of toughness. The 2008 New England Edition F-150. With more style and strength than you could imagine. F-150, the best-selling truck in America for 30 straight years. Now you can lease this F-150 with the tow and go package for just $249 a month. The New England Edition F-150, a new reflection on built Ford tough.
Right now, I'm on maternity leave, and so we have one income coming in with 2 children. We have to make sure that we can feed everyone and afford it. We are conscious of how much money we save. Like, we actually do look at the receipt when we get it. Stop and Shop overall, the prices are just lower. We definitely need to save money to eventually have our nice home and maybe have a 3rd child, if I survive. Stop and Shop works for me.
Do you believe it? The Red Sox are the world champions. Congratulations to the Sox and to everyone on your free furniture. Now let's celebrate!
We are live at City Hall Plaza. Ryan Aselta, Mark Ackerbloom. You are looking at Sky Fox just a second ago. Boston is insane right now. We are welcoming the world champions through the streets of Boston like you can only do in Boston on duck boats.
You feel the energy, don't you?
Oh,
I mean, it's been growing over the last couple hours
you
here.
Feel
but
it.
This place is jam-packed right now, and the energy is just—it's kind of contagious.
It's incredible. You look out on the plaza, and we got here so early that the lines were probably 10 deep at that point.
All right, what do you think now?
Venture a guess now, because basically, if there's a spot open, you stand there. It's going to be tough, but the cell phones will be high. They'll be saluting their players because they're all trying to get a picture.
And the players are going to salute them back, and that's the cool part. And people will really absolutely enjoy that. We have cameras set up all along this route. Of course, it starts at Fenway Park. The players, we saw them all loaded onto the duck boats right there and getting ready to leave Fenway. It's a rolling rally. As we said, it doesn't actually stop. It's going to make a couple of pauses, if you will. In certain areas, you're going to see the Jumbotrons, and that's when we're going to see Mr. Papelbon with the stogie, with the kilt, doing a little Irish jig.
With the Dropkick Murphys.
With the Dropkick Murphys.
Hopefully a couple of his teammates too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even get Theo out there, John Henry. Maybe
I
they
don't
could
know.
do their
I
thing.
bet John Henry would do it.
He would.
Now that would be something
What's nice
to see.
too is with all the sunglasses being worn by the players today, it might be a little difficult to recognize, but if you look on the side of the duck boats, you will see the names of the players. And it's important to note that who's on there, and that way you know exactly where your favorite player is.
It's pretty special. Those are Manny's kids right there. Ryan, we were still at the park last night around 8, and Manny walked right by you last night.
He's packing up his car. He had all his cleats, his sneakers.
Yeah.
It looked like he was emptying his locker for the winter at least. And I asked him, I said, what are you doing here this late? He goes, oh, man, I'm so tired.
Oh. And I'm sure everybody's tired, and you know what? But it's a good tired. It's one of those things where it's okay.
It's interesting. You talk about Manny staying late. He also gets to the park early, and a lot of people wonder, you know, Manny being Manny, does this guy put the time in? And you know, that's the bottom line here. Manny Ramirez puts in probably more time than most players on that ball club. And that's
they always say he's the hardest working guy on that team. He's there early, taking extra swings all the time. You don't get to be the type of hitter. He's one of the greatest right-handed hitters of all time, guys. And you don't get that with just sheer skill. You got to work that over your career, and he definitely has done that.
And you're looking at some live pictures right now of the duck boats filled with your World Series champions. These people are going to get through the streets of Boston. Dropkick Murphys are going to be along for the ride on a platform, stopping at certain places. It's great because they do have these jumbotrons set up. We're here at City Hall Plaza, and people are standing there and watching that, and they're waiting for the crowds. And I mean, they're waiting for the people to come by, and it's getting pretty crazy here.
And it helps with safety concerns. There are some smaller children here with their parents, so they're able to go over here, have a nice spot, sit down, and take a look at the jumbotron. Because really, if you tried to fight this crowd now to get to where the railings are and where the guardrails are put up, you wouldn't have a chance.
And you know, the city's really mastered the way they do this. As we've been saying all year, this ain't their first rodeo either.
No.
They've been doing this. They've kind of probably tweaked it a little bit over the years.
Sure.
But you're right, Huck. There's a place where you can take kids off to the side, watch it on the jumbotron. If you want to get up close and get pictures on your cell phone, you squeeze right up there. And it's really fan friendly.
You know what I love is that we win the World Series championship on Sunday night.
Yes.
Okay, on FOX25, and the next day, okay, we're having a parade Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's just incredible. You think about the magnitude and the cost that goes into planning something like this.
And the planning.
$500,000 in the planning. And look, we're whipping this around. I mean, we're acting like champions all the way around. The fans, the players, city officials pulling this together. Very well organized, I will say.
The plans were in place. They just didn't want to talk about it on Sunday. That baseball, you don't want to jinx anything, a lot of superstitions, but this was ready to roll from that final out of Game 4.
You recall prior to Game 4 on the pregame show, Butch put that direct question to two of the owners.
Right,
and they said, we're not going there, Butch.
To do with it.
Thanks for the question, but we're not giving you an answer. And I think you can understand why.
Again, you're looking at the duck boats, which we do here in Boston. We put these World Series champions on these boats, and they go right through. They start at Fenway Park. They go down Boylston. They go through Copley Square. They're going to pause there. That's where we're expected to. You know, we keep saying it, but this is what's going to happen. Papelbon's going to do his Irish jig there. Then it's going to make its way through the Boston Common, down here through City Plaza. You can see all this stuff happening on jumbotrons at all these routes, at Copley Square, at the Common, and then here at City Hall Plaza, which we have one in front of us. And don't forget, you can go to myfoxboston.com, which you can get so many things there. We've had you covered this ALS series, the World Series. You can go there and you can check out all these pictures.
You can chat with people on there.
Yep.
The Red Sox headquarters, that's been really the central location for our website for the last month or so, and it's really, everyone's gathered there, chatting with each other, posting, blogging, and all those cool pictures.
That's right, the shout-outs as well, as you see them scroll across the bottom of your screen here. A lot of families, a lot of people coming up to you saying, how do I get involved in that? I said, go to the website, myfoxboston.com, type it in, and watch it fly by.
You know what I'd like to say? So many people, we were just walking around here a little bit, and they're saying, hey, thanks, Fox, thanks for bringing us the World Series. But you know, the truth is, thank you out there for watching it with us and staying up late with us all those nights and believing, and we believed, and we're lifelong Red Sox fans, and we sat up there and we hoped and we prayed, and we had the crazy hat and all the superstitions, and here we are standing here on a beautiful, beautiful afternoon, and we're just waiting for these Red Sox players to come through.
Waiting, and the wait is just about over.
Oh, yes.
They're getting ready with the duck boats outside Fenway Park, and that's where we find Butch Stearns. Butch.
Thanks, Hawk. Thanks, Hawk and Maria. I'm here with AJ. First of all, AJ Burnett, I want to thank you and Kim and Kevin for all the weather in October.
You know,
all over
this
the country,
is a far cry from what we had last time. You remember we couldn't put the helicopter up in the air. It was cloudy. It was raining. It was gross out. And now we finally bring the World Championship back, and the sun is shining on Boston right now.
As we're sitting here, the boats are starting up. The state police cruise motorcycles have gone to the front, so I think we're moments away from starting. We have still not seen Manny Ramirez,
I haven't seen Manny get on his boat yet. We sent a couple trusty scouts down to check things out. We
my
haven't
daughter
seen
and
Manny
my sister,
on there. Yeah, I know, right?
Lily and Leanna.
We don't know if Manny showed up in Theo Epstein's bear costume or if he snuck on board or what, but these things are getting ready to move right now.
Yeah, and Frank Malakote's down on the ground, and he's trying to find out too. So it'll be interesting to see if Manny is in his boat with David Ortiz. That's the yellow boat, by the way, as we told you. And again, if you want to pay attention to some colors out there, Daisuke Matsuzaka and John Lester are on the red boat. The relievers with their band are on the pink boat.
And they gave the drumsticks to the kids. We're not sure that that's really a good idea.
I know, we don't know if that's a good idea. On the yellow boat is David Ortiz and supposedly Manny Ramirez.
We're told that his family, I guess, is on board the boat. Okay. We're not sure where Manny is. It's just Manny being Manny, I guess. I don't know.
Mike Lowell, World Series MVP, and Julio Lugo are on a purple boat. And Kevin Youkilis is on a brown boat. The gray boat is going to be Josh Beckett, Tim Wakefield.
There'll be a test after this, by the way, on all this.
Terry Francona and Theo Epstein on the orange boat. We've also been told that the trophy is going to be passed around from boat to boat. And
the trophy
so
actually did come right down here, right just below us. Went on one of the boats down there, and they're starting to
they're
starting
to
head out now.
And the Dropkick Murphys, don't forget, Jonathan Papelbon is on that boat. So the boats are moving now from here. These people are going to be out of luck pretty soon.
You know what's amazing, Butch? Sorry, is we're starting to see the fans that were here, lining the fences right along the beginning of the route here, and they're all starting to sprint out toward the road to try and catch a second look at what's going on.
And by the way, the Papelbon boat with the Dropkick Murphys is about halfway through all the boats. It's going to be about the 12th or 13th boat, and it is a flatbed. But here we go, the parade's moving, so let's throw it back to you, Maria and Ock.
All right, we'll take it. Thank you, Butchie. Nice to see this whole thing getting going.
Hey, we were told that the bullpen boat was the one to watch for a little musical specialties. We just showed that to you. You can see the drumsticks going. I think Manny Del Carmen keeping a beat.
Don't forget, a lot of the streets around here are shut down because of this parade, and traffic has been a mess, apparently, on the Mass Pike. And officials said take public transportation. That apparently was backed up for a bit now, but it looks like things are clearing up.
And once again, the boat's shooting out the exhaust, which in this case is confetti today.
Yeah, it's confetti because we are celebrating the World Series championship.
You know, those guys, Butch and AJ, they were wondering where Manny was. We saw him. He's on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
He is there. He's got his family. His little ones are with him, his wife, so he's here. So he wouldn't miss this.
And we also saw the arrival earlier. We showed you of Daisuke Matsuzaka coming in as well. You know, when the boats fired up and started moving, we've got a Jumbotron over here at Copley Square, not Copley Square, City Hall Plaza. Get myself confused here for a minute. And you could see the energy level just rise around here. People started taking note of it, pointing it out to one another, saying it started, it's begun. And everybody started ratcheting it up a little bit.
You know, the great part in 2004 is when we were standing here and when you could feel the boats getting closer because the crowd, you couldn't even breathe. It was so loud and people were so happy. And the boats go slowly enough where you can really look at who these players are. These players who you've seen in uniforms, intense, concentrated, who are now in jeans and in Red Sox gear and smiling at the crowd and waving at the crowd. It's really a treat.
You know, the fans don't get to see these guys in this arena that often. Usually they have to be professional, they're in uniform, they're intense. Now they're just in street clothes, they're letting loose, they're being themselves, which they don't get a chance to do in front of the fans very often.
And usually it's 37,000 people who have the chance to spend a lot of money and get into the ballpark and watch that. And now it is, I mean, we can't even estimate the crowd. I mean, it's just in the thousands.
I leave that to the experts. I don't even go there.
We're no experts on that.
The state police, I'm sure, are going to take an aerial view of this and give us a firm number later on. But to go back to what you were talking about earlier, the speed of the boats, well, you can see right here, they do have some, people walking alongside. Members of the police department making sure everybody's kept in check, but if they're able to keep pace in a brisk walk, then it's going to be fine as far as vantage points for the many fans, the thousands upon thousands who have come out here to try and catch a glimpse of the world champs.
Yeah, guys, these boats do everything but stop. They go very slow, so people are going to get their chance. They're going to get their look, their chance for pictures, get a chance to show their signs to the players and really try to interact with them. They don't want them to stop for safety reasons, but they're going to come pretty close to coming to a stop in a few different spots.
And you know what's terrific, too? There's so many office buildings around us, and if we turn around, you see Way to Go Sox. They decorated all the windows. You see people looking out of their windows. That's a pretty nice seat right there, just checking everything out and looking at the sea of Red Sox.
Not a whole lot of work going on up there today, I think.
One up high. We actually have some that are written in Japanese for Daisuke, and then over here we have one that says, "Can't wait to see Beckett dance with Papelbon."
Yeah, we'll see. Everybody wants him to be good on that. Listen, you just saw the owners right there. They look as happy as the fans, for sure. And it's funny, you just think, well, does this get old for them? No, it doesn't get old for them. Holding up that World Series trophy, waving to the fans.
And this is the ultimate return on the investment.
Yeah.
The money that they put in to buy this team, and then to go out and see the type of product that's been put on the field since their ownership and how it's changed. Like Dewey said last night in our World Series wrap-up show, he said, you know, the bottom line is, years ago, guys didn't want to come to Boston, and if they got here, they didn't want to stay.
Right.
And it's totally changed the opposite way now.
Good.
People want to come, and they don't want to go anywhere after
This is the place to be in sports right now, guys. Think about the teams. They want to play in this town, whether it's the Red Sox, the Patriots, the Celtics. This is title town right now, and I think we all got to pinch ourselves because we all know this doesn't last forever, but sure feels good while it's going on.
Kurt Schilling right there, waving to the crowd, sleeves rolled up. Taking it all in.
And listen to the crowd. It's like a wall of sound.
It is. Once they come by us, guys, it will be drowned out, and for good reason. And I'm happy to not talk and just take it all in as well. Again, you're looking at this rolling parade through the streets of Boston, rolling rally. The Red Sox players are getting through these streets on these duck boats. It's quite a special day here. It absolutely is.
That's Johnny Pesky's boat and Dom DiMaggio passing by, as we said. Some of the older Red Sox still a part of this big extended family.
You know, a lot of these are carried coast to coast as well. So, you know, a guy like Bobby Dorr, who's out in the Northwest, who came and had a day here at Fenway, now 90 years old, one of the legends of the Red Sox, able to watch this coverage as well. So he's got the satellite dishes tuned up.
And you think about the 67 Impossible Dream Team, who was such a part of this season. They really worked them in so many ways. You know, they're enjoying every bit. Dustin Pedroia, I call him the little rook that could all season long.
He was the little
Dustin
rook,
Pedroia,
sure. Definitely
along with Eric Hinsky. There you see John Henry in the shades, one of the principal owners. Let's go back down to Butch Stearns. Butch?
There's Daisuke.
You wonder if they're broadcasting this back home in Japan right now. I bet plenty of fans are watching.
That's it. There you go.
Well, they really pack in the boats as well. You put the family members, the front office personnel, the ball club, the ownership group. But that's what it takes to put a winner on the field. It's not just the guys who are on the field.
And that's the guy who put the winners on the field, Theo Epstein, going right by in his boat. What a year from him, turning things around after missing the playoffs last year with this ball club.
And one of the things Theo said, of course, when he inherited the job as GM, and everybody looked at him and said, "How old are you?" That was the question he answered the most. The second was, "What are you going to do in office?" And he said, "Hey, you know, when I get this job, I'm going to redo the whole farm system head to toe," and that's what's paid off. There's Tito Francona right there, the manager, waving to the fans, loving it all. A huge sports fan, not just of baseball, obviously, because he's the manager of the Red Sox, but loves the college environment, a frequent visitor over at Boston College, maybe checking out a hoop game at Connie Forum. And there's a love affair between him and the athletic director and the guys over there as well.
Josh Beckett right there, looking out there, got the shades on, giving us a couple of waves here and there.
Louis Tiant,
yeah. Another member of the family. Rolling right by.
That's nice how everybody's included. I think it's great, and I think it means a lot to the people. And we see people out here, young and old, so the young can appreciate, you know, they have got the Jacoby Ellsbury signs up, but the people who are 40 plus, we appreciate.
You know, and the fact that Red Sox ownership has embraced the former players as well, the guys who came long before them, oftentimes offering them up World Series rings from 2004. Number of those players got them as well because they were part of what built the Red Sox into what they are today.
VB is hanging out of our Beacon Hill studio. VB, can you see all of this going on?
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It never gets old, Maria. You know, it's funny. I heard Mark talking about Terry Francona. Think back to 3-1 down, Q, as you join me here. 3-1 down against Cleveland. And think about the talk we were hearing about Francona, and think about how today could have been different, you know, if Beckett didn't step up and get the job done. Everybody didn't like the fact that he stuck with certain guys. Why was Lugo still playing? That was one that I didn't like.
Right.
J.D. Drew, for example, as we watch Euclid rolling by, taking pictures of people, as he, a lot of the players like doing this, obviously, getting pictures of different people. That's Pedroia leaning off the back there, too, obviously.
And think about what was said when Manny Ramirez said, you know, we're going to go out there and we're going to give 110%, but hey, you know, if it doesn't happen, there's next year. And people were like, oh my gosh, he's not really into it. He's given up already. You know, where's the heart? Where's the drive?
So who cares was the big quote. Well, it looks like Boston cares today, that's for sure.
You know, we have
obviously Daisuke going to be the biggest, one of the biggest draws here. He looks to be enjoying himself.
And lots of people were doubting if he was going to step up. And he proved it. He was definitely able to do it. I think what is just so interesting about all of this is that the stories that you hear from people as they're making their way to the parade route. One lady came over to us and she said, you know, my father died when they won the World Series in 2004, and so I wasn't able to see the parade then, but I brought his hat, I'm wearing it today, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna see this parade, and this is for him, and this is not just for him, but just so many people. You look at the parade route, you see the people with their kids and their grandkids, and I don't know how many kids are in school today. I don't know if any work is being done in Boston today.
Yeah, I think you know the answer to that, too.
People here.
Look at the bullpen doing their thing again. People outside of Boston can't stand the bullpen band.
Right.
People that love Boston and love the Red Sox love the bullpen band. Keep banging, keep doing the two water bottles together. It's a beautiful thing. It's great. I mean.
So what is this called again? Because you said the bullpen dance?
Yeah, that's the bullpen band, Q. Don't you remember? They're out in the back and they're all banging on the metal overhead, and then out in Colorado they were doing it in the bar in front of them.
Is this a Boston thing?
No, that's the bullpen right there, getting after it.
Right.
Again, you know, Gene and I were talking earlier this morning. We remember the 80s and even the late 70s when it was like, oh my God, how can these teams be this bad?
The misery.
Yeah. You know, we were talking to some kids, the kids from Lowell earlier, and you mentioned 1918 and all the suffering, and they're just laughing because they don't know anything about it. They're like,
ancient history. Did they even play baseball back then? That's what the kids are wondering.
Is that the drop kicks right there, getting after it a little bit?
Well, somebody's rocking. I think that is the drop kick Murphys. Oh, that's the bullpen. All right. We are waiting for them. I know that they're supposed to be on a flatbed, and they're supposed to be making their way through the crowd as well. And Papelbon's going to be dancing, doing his Papelbon jig. And we know that we had a lot of people going to our website at Do the Dance at FOX25, myfoxboston.com.
Yeah, that's the drop kicks there. Is there a bigger song in I mean, I know we all hear about Love That Dirty Water, but that band and that tune right now, Q, forget about it. It's everywhere. Can't get enough of it. It's a beautiful thing.
It's definitely the rally cry of Red Sox Nation. I know that Gene can't say Red Sox Nation, but we can say it because we're looking at it. Thousands upon thousands of people. Uh-oh, we are getting word that Papelbon may be warming up his jig shoes, I guess, getting ready to do his famous jig. We're all looking for it.
He's supposed to do it 3 times, as we know, but we're not sure. The crowd, by the way, Q, Red Sox Nation, a lot of people wondered after 2004, would they turn out en masse for this parade? Obviously they have. There's Schilling, who is obviously soaking this up probably more than anybody.
Josh Beckett.
He's done this before, as has Beckett, by the way.
You know, lots of people have come from very, very far to be a part of this. We're talking to one family right now. Where are you from?
Anchorage, Alaska.
Why in the world would you come all the way from Anchorage, Alaska to see all of this?
Well, I worked for the Red Sox in the 90s, and I flew back from Anchorage in the 2004 series and had my first date with Suzanne. That was the first date. Now we have Jack here, and he flew all the way down and went to game 1, and we're having a blast.
So I know you haven't been able to get too close just yet, but what are you thinking as you see all this? There are thousands of people down there.
Oh, it's magical, Suzanne.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like you said, we were here before, and we just had to come back. It's just amazing to be part of the fun.
We'll have a good time.
Thanks so much.
Enjoy the parade.
Go Sox.
Q, you know, we talked about Beckett earlier. We saw him earlier. There's Jacoby, obviously.
And Mike Timlin.
The Rookie of the Year next year. Timlin's done this rodeo before. Beckett and Lowell have done this with Florida. And I have a feeling This rally is a little more impressive than the one they did when they won it with the Marlins back in '03. I have a feeling there's a few more people that turned out for this one than what they saw back there.
I have been taken with just how many kids the Red Sox players bringing their families down.
Yeah.
And can you, I can't imagine what it's like to be 6 or 5 or 4 and your dad has won the World Series and you get to be in this huge parade and you're on tugboats and the confetti is flying through the air. It really just has to be, as the gentleman from Anchorage said, a magical experience.
And you see a guy like Ellsbury, you remember the way the Sox used to do things was they always brought in guys after they won titles elsewhere, and then we got them when they were too old to get it done. You see Ellsbury, you see the future, and you realize this is why we have the parades. Theo's changed the mantra for the Boston Red Sox. He's brought in the young guns to mix in with some of the veterans like Veritek, obviously, who's helped groom some of these guys and show them the way of the Boston Red Sox. And here we are, second time in a couple of years now with the rolling rally.
I don't know, it makes me wonder, are we getting a little too used to victory? You know, you do it
Is
twice.
Is there such a thing?
You do it twice.
What happens twice happens thrice. Isn't that what they say? Let's do it again next year, Q. Come on.
I guess we should just enjoy the moment right now. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I wrote on my blog this past weekend how if you're not really much of a sports fan, it's kind of hard to understand all of this. However, though, you get into the crowd, it's
There's Mike Lowell, Q, and the question is, where will he be playing next year? Will he be smiling here in Boston?
We're not going to think about that right
We got to. The one thing I've heard more than anything from people walking by our Beacon Hill studios.
No A-Rod,
yeah,
right? No A-Rod.
I mean, if you took a poll of people all along this parade route, it would be 100-0 with 0 as the margin of error. There's not one person in this entire, all through Boston right now that wants A-Rod. Everybody wants Mike Lowell back. And that's one of the many issues facing Theo Epstein right now.
Papelbon right now. However, Theo Epstein, though,
he's got the cigar working, of course.
Pretty mum on that. He just sort of dismissed that comment. People said, okay, now what's the deal with A-Rod? What's the deal with Lowell?
Look at Papelbon reaching over. That's the first one I've seen of that. Loves it more than anybody. And, of course, you got a little Tessie going there. You can never get enough of that either. Papelbon, I think, of all of them, the nuttiest, wackiest, craziest, cutting it loosest member of the Red Sox.
That we know of.
Manny in a different way.
Right, Manny being Manny. But you have to wonder what they're like, though, when they're in the locker room.
Well, I believe Papelbon is still the only one to have an empty Bud Light case on his head with eye holes cut out. I surprisingly haven't seen any of that down along the parade route. People doing Papelbon costumes. Not as much down here as I thought that we might.
Maybe they're saving it for tomorrow.
That very well could be,
tomorrow,
yeah. I think you're going to see some Papelbon outfits tomorrow for Halloween. We had a kid earlier dressed up as Veritek, obviously. I think a lot of the kids are going as Red Sox. The Manny deal, you got the hair thing going, of course.
And a lot of kids going with the old school uniforms, too. We saw the little kid that you were talking to. He had his
Papelbon getting a little rock going there, going to the Hulk Hogan, going to the ear. Look at that. This is the Hulkster. Is he going to dance now? That's the question. For God's sakes, Papelbon, give us what we want.
He promised he would dance.
He's hitching up the pants. It looked like he might be thinking about it.
Look at all the people along the parade route. You know, they have been out here 4 hours. I got here around 10 o'clock, so it was about 2.5 hours ago. And already the crowd on right off of Beacon Street was 3, 4, 5 people deep.
Look at that shot, Q. I mean, what a beautiful shot that is. Oh, it doesn't get any better than that. You got the crew behind you. What are they, 20, 30 deep there, and the boat's going by? It's awesome, and what a beautiful day, too. The sky's perfectly blue. You couldn't ask for. We've done a couple of these. In fact, the one in '04, I remember that Saturday morning, kind of rainy, kind of wet, kind of damp. This one's just perfect, made to order. John Henry again, that's
without
the man.
Without the huge cigar this time, but I guess his hands were full with the trophy, so.
And that's a good thing to have the hands full with that trophy. Papelbon's got the cigar going, of course.
We were told that when this ends at the City Hall Plaza, they're just going to keep on going because the players are going to have a private celebration after this rolling rally. We were expecting some. But they did talk to the media and before they got on the duck boat, so we know that how they feel, and they said what was in their hearts, and they're just also excited to be a part of this. And it's just their way of thanking the fans, because so many of them have said that just the fan support when they played in Colorado, and they saw thousands upon thousands of Red Sox fans who not just paid the money, but also made the trip there to support the team. Red Sox fans are like no other fan in the world. And this just shows you just how true that is.
You saw that duck boat go by, Q, and it says world champs on the side. It's still 86 years as we waited, and now bang, here it comes again. This team, obviously, every year is right, my friend. I love it. Yeah! This team is built for the future. There's no question they're going to be the odds-on favorites next year and for years to come. I remember talking to Theo Epstein last year, and remember the guff he took after the trade deadline when injuries started coming into play and the Sox wilted down the stretch and ended up missing the playoffs. And people ripping Theo, and I remember talking to Theo for the Hot Stove Cool Music Summer Edition. He said, don't people realize this team is built to dominate 3, 4, 5 years from now? He certainly knew what he was talking about because they dominated this year. And I don't know, Gino, you've covered this team for a lot of years. You tell me this team isn't built to dominate for the next 5 years. They're going to be in this thing for years to come, and we may see a few more of these rallies for sure.
A different team in the way the Patriots are going, but you know, a lot of people are making comparisons between the 04 team and the 07 team. And, you know, I want to do that with the crowd here, Kim, because initially I didn't think we were going to see as big a crowd as we did in 04. But given that this is a school day and it's during the week, I'll tell you what, this crowd rivals the size of the one that we saw down here 4 years ago.
I tell you this, Gene, this rivals the size crowd of any crowd I've seen down here, period, for any rally. And I'm looking off in the distance, as we had mentioned earlier, as we get closer to noon and now past noon, people start flooding out of their offices. There is still a sea of people making their way down here to Boylston Street. It's just phenomenal. Everybody very excited. I think everybody pretty much watching their P's and Q's. They seem to be, you know, getting along pretty well so far.
Where we are in Copley Square, they haven't quite made an appearance yet. People are kind of peering over the railing and the barrier to take a peek down Boylston Street to see if they can even get a glimpse of the duck boats making their way this way. Haven't quite seen that yet, but it is a overflow crowd down here in Copley Square, going all the way back to the steps of the Boston Public Library, and on both sides of the street, really. It's just an amazing turnout today.
But we have the great advantage of being able to see the television screen, so we have a little better sense of where they may be as opposed to the folks who are out here who are all trying to see our television monitors now and get an idea of how close they might be.
Yeah, a good number of folks have now gotten a place in front of the Jumbotron down here because they're done trying to battle the crowds to get close to the railing. It's really going to be difficult for folks just showing up now to get a good view of what's going on. But, you know, it's going to be like the wave, Kim, slowly coming down toward us here in Copley Square with the sound and the screams and the cheers.
That's right, and like so many years past, we know what this is like, Gene. And once they start coming this way, it's hard to hear. It just becomes unbelievable. We're looking at Dice K there and getting lots of love. Looks like that might be his wife right there with him, Gene.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, oh, that's Okajima. I'm sorry. They're saying now that's who it is. It's hard to see on our monitor too. All right, so they keep rolling. They keep rolling our direction. We're here at Boylston and Dartmouth, and we're waiting for them to come down the street. And as Gene was saying, the crowd is gigantic. Everybody leaning over the barriers, trying to see if they've made their way onto Boylston Street yet. Meantime, we've had a few volleyball games out here and lots of signs. And
it's been a very patient crowd, too. They have waited here, and they've been chanting back and forth to each other. We've heard a "Resign Lowell" chant, and get some of the guys banging away down here.
They're telling us that they are by the Heinz Convention Center, and then, of course, that's the bullpen band.
Yeah, you see Kyle Snyder there and some of the other guys. That was what they did during the World Series, the playoffs. You remember those shots we saw the guys in the bullpen banging their instruments, their good luck charms. Seemed to pay off, too.
Well, I hope that when they get down here, we can hear them play, because again, you know, as we've been saying, these crowds just get crazy and it's difficult to hear. So I hope we'll get a chance to hear them play, because I think it's a neat addition to the rolling rally.
In terms of weather today, this is probably the best we've had for any of these rallies in recent years. For Patriots, obviously, in the cold weather month of February. But the last rally we had for the Red Sox was that Saturday. It was overcast, it was rainy, but the crowd came out in full force anyway. But the weather today, there's no shortage of people playing hooky and ducking out of work, that's for sure.
That is for certain. Now, I hear the crowd starting to kind of a low roar, which no doubt means that they're at the end of the street down here and they can see them. So they're starting to make their way this direction, slowly but surely. Yeah, talking about that weather situation, Gene, I think that probably has increased the crowd just that much more. I think a lot of people do make a decision based on what the weather situation might be and how long they have to stand out here. It's not so bad standing out here today, that's for sure.
No, but I don't know how they estimate what the crowd size will be, but it's going to be close to what it was, if not even surpassing 2004 when they were down here, because this is really an amazing turnout. And it seemed to me, too, that day that they were a little quicker getting down the parade route. So better for the fans today to know that they're going to get a chance to get a good glimpse of their heroes as they come by, as opposed to zipping by at a speed where you may only get a quick glimpse. So hopefully everybody's patience will be rewarded along the parade route. And we're still looking down Boylston Street from our vantage here in Copley Square, and we have yet to even see a duck boat. So it's going to be a while before they make their way all the way through the parade route.
Well, I think these guys are being kind enough to sort of entertain the crowd as they come through, which I think has taken a little bit longer this trip than what it's taken in the past. You know, talking about the measuring the crowds, do you remember, Gene, you know, they were talking millions of people who came out to see the first Red Sox parade in 2004, and they had the advantage of being able to see them along the river. Today they can't do that, but I got to tell you, I think just as many people are cramming in along the streets, and it may mean for deeper crowds than what we had in '04, because there's not quite as much parade going on as there was back then.
Well, it's really something I don't think you see much in other cities. This is an idea that originated here with the rolling rally. And a lot of people were disappointed that there was no rally at the end where the fans could gather a circle, what the Patriots did in way back when. They see the Dropkick Murphys and Jonathan Papelbon on their flatbed.
All right, so as you can see here now, we've got the Dropkick Murphys are playing and Papelbon dancing on the back of that flatbed. He said all along he was going to dance, and why not? I mean, they've won the World Series. He's a young guy. He pitched his way to this. Good for him. Let him dance. That's what I say.
And we've seen all of the people who have taken to the Papelbon dance, sending in their Papelbon type dances to do the dance at myfoxboston.com, and we've been featuring those throughout the World Series run here. And there's some pretty good impersonators there, that's for sure. But Papelbon has set a very high standard. And
Gino, look at the crowd. They're all dancing with him.
This is probably one of the stranger gigs that Dropkick Murphys have ever had, too.
Yeah.
You know, playing while you're rolling along. But they're loving it, too, and they've become very much part of this whole Red Sox phenomenon as well. You know, the reemergence of Tessie as kind of the theme song, and a lot of superstition with it. We had some folks on who would put together the history of the Red Sox fan going back to the Royal Rooters at the start of the century.
Yeah, you remember they were the first ones with the towels and the signs and whatnot.
How can you not help but be tickled by what's going on here?
By seeing how the fans have evolved and how it's all turned out.
But anyway, as I started to say, we had done something with the folks who produced the history of the Royal Rooters dating back to really the 19th century, and when things came into the 20th century, even before the Red Sox took note as we know them. And Tessie was a song that was part of their culture and lore back then into the early 1900s, and when the Red Sox were winning some of the earlier World Series. And you see Big Papi getting into it. And the song itself has been a good luck charm. It's got an amazing winning record, something to the tune of whenever that song was played. It was something like 30-5 as a good luck charm. So that's why the Dropkick Murphys dusted it off and updated it. It's a much better version now than it ever was way back in the early 1900s.
They just keep singing it, huh?
I think that's become the tune they're known for. And they've been identified with the Red Sox. That's not such a bad thing. We're starting to see now down here in Copley Square the motorcade, the police motorcade. that is leading the duck boats down along the parade route.
Gene, in the distance, I can see some of the confetti. They're blowing confetti off of some of the boats, and we can see the confetti in the distance. So they are definitely making their way here, and all of a sudden you can tell that the crowd is getting excited, and the anticipation is starting to really build now because they can see just what we see, which is the confetti. And before too long here, they're going to be able to hear the fans at the other end of Boylston start to cheer. And that's going to just make this crowd come alive right here in front of us here at Dartmouth Street.
It's interesting, you've got fans standing on their tippy toes trying to get a peek over the people in front of them, over the railings, kind of around the Copley Square T-stop, which is blocking the view a little bit. So they know they're on the way because, as you said, you can see the confetti off in the distance. So they've almost reached our location down here in Copley Square. And when they do, it is just going to erupt.
Well, the great thing about this is that the players, which you at home can't exactly tell, but they're actually up. Those boats are up. So for the folks who are here, even if you are 45 deep, and they are, you still can see them pretty clearly because they're up, elevated above the crowd. So that makes it nice, and that's another smart thing that's being done in this rally as opposed to putting them in the back of cars. You'd never be able to see them very well. So we're here, and they're coming our direction. This is what folks have been waiting for 4 years. We saw it once, and they're waiting, and here they come again. And you can tell they're just as excited this time as they were 4 years ago. I don't think it makes any difference how often you do this, Gene. It's still a huge accomplishment, and it's still very exciting for the fans.
Well, the cheers are getting a little louder here in Copley Square. The anticipation is building, and we're starting to see exactly some of these, the duck boats are coming into a little clearer view here now for us down in this area, because there are buildings that are blocking people's view of the parade route, so they can't really get a good look at it until it kind of gets right in front of them.
So once again, as we were saying, here comes the police officers. That is the escort that's bringing them down the street, and we can see the confetti in the air, but I don't hear the roar quite yet, so they're still far enough away that you can't hear the roar. We're here by the public library.
We can make out the roofs of the duck boats now down here in Copley Square.
We're here by the public library, and now here they come, Gene. I'm starting to see some of them. You can see some of the players on the back in the distance here as it approaches the library. Just want to remind everybody that you can see this streaming on myfoxboston.com. If you've got to leave the TV set, be sure you turn your computer on. All right, here they come, everybody.
Yeah, the screams are getting louder and louder now. We can actually make out the duck boats down here in Copley Square as the lead boat's making its way through. And this is what everybody's been waiting here all morning for. It's for these players and Red Sox personnel to come on down and take their bows. Let the fans thank them, and in turn, the players thanking the fans as well.
Well, you know, I think when these guys play, they know who's in the stadium, but you just have to wonder if they understand the magnitude of what they're doing and how many people they're touching. And this gives them that opportunity to see some of these people and realize how many people have been loyal and followed them throughout the entire season. Not just the season, people who follow them for a lifetime, but who have followed this particular group of guys for such a long time. And I think it's wonderful for them to get a sense of that.
Well, as you can see, they're almost right directly in front of us now here in Copley Square. That camera angle you have there is what we are seeing. And the lead duck boat is making its way through. We've got Boston police on foot leading the duck boats through. And you've got some Red Sox personnel leaning out the sides, waving to the fans, putting their hands up to their ear, cupping it, saying, hey, let me hear you make it louder.
And they're doing just that, folks. All right, here they come.
So the first boat coming through. Red Sox personnel on here, and you can see they've got on that boat the list of retired Red Sox numbers. And they've got those confetti blasters, which I know you have at every party at your house, Kim.
We do. It just gets the crowd going, just like this, Gene. All right. So this is boat number 1 with boat number 2 close behind. In the back of this boat,
that's the ownership group. You got Tom Werner, John Henry, Larry Lucchino, all waving to the crowd, taking their hats off.
lot of times their families will ride on the inside while the guys ride on the back side, but I see Stacy Lucchino there, along with Larry Lucchino and their kids.
This has really got a, if you're a player or a front, it just has to blow you away.
John Henry's on the other side of that boat. On the other side, we just can't see him from our angle.
And you can hear Tessie blaring out of the speakers on the duck boats. The second duck boat are the Red Sox partners. Yeah, okay, keep moving. Let's get to the next one. These are all the people who have some sliver of the team.
And that's okay. You know what? They've stood by him too, right?
Sure.
They're out here getting their due.
And the chant is going up. Keep Mike Lowell. Keep Mike Lowell. Keep Mike Lowell. You hear it.
Re-sign Lowell.
Re-sign Lowell. He may get the biggest ovation of everybody when it comes through here. And that's the question that that guy right there is going to have to answer. That's Theo Epstein.
There's Theo.
He's the one that people are chanting for. Is the Theo Epstein and the Red Sox baseball operations people, Jed Hoyer, his assistant Ben Cherington, those guys who actually made the trade that brought Lowell here with Josh Beckett.
I got a feeling that Theo's hearing that throughout this entire parade. What do you think?
He's like, I hear you. Yeah, we got you.
There you go. Tips his hat to somebody taking a picture. That's awesome.
Now, one of the duck boats is actually stopped.
Yep.
Come to a full stop.
This is the orange boat. Now, I know Butch told us earlier, but I didn't take very good notes, so I don't remember who's coming on which boat. So stay with us here, and we'll get this one moving along. This is something different, Gene. They've never stopped before. You know, they've always been sort of adamant about moving.
And they got a little bit of a duck boat backup out here on Boylston Street. But that's okay, because the fans are getting an extended look at their heroes. And here comes our Red Sox coaching staff, Dave Magadan, Terry Francona, Brad Mills, DeMarlo O'Hara.
All screaming, Tito, Tito!
Tito was on the other side, so we didn't get a very good look at him from our vantage point here.
Here comes the trophy.
Schilling holding it up. He's on a boat with Beckett and Tim Wakefield.
Yep. Kurt Schilling.
It really is great stuff to watch. Here comes some of the Red Sox legends of years past. Dwight Evans, who of course helped us out. Rick Miller, Frank Malzone, Jim Corsi, Bill Monbouquet. Louis Tiant, we saw him earlier handing out some cigars, no doubt Cubans. And good for the Red Sox for including those guys in the festivities today.
It's terrific.
Here comes some more legends. You got Johnny Pesky and the legendary Dom DiMaggio. Just turned 90.
Isn't that great? That's awesome that they can be a part of it. It's just terrific.
And the training staff gets their own duck boat.
And listen, these guys are in the trenches with them every day.
Kept them healthy. Put them through their regiments, when especially the pitching staff days off when they're not pitching, making sure they're staying to the routine.
They're all screaming, Uke! Uke! Here comes Euclid along with Dustin Pedroia.
Oh yeah, Eric Hinsky on there too. Yeah. A former Rookie of the Year. Hinsky, a former Rookie of the Year, on there with Pedroia, who should get it this year. Comes the next one. You've got John Lester. An amazing story he was, really.
What a fairy tale ending to this series.
Think about where he was a year ago at this time and where he's doing now.
I'm sure he's been thinking about that too. And there's Dice K on the back. You have to wonder if they do this where Dice K's from.
Now it comes the bullpen band, if you will. You got Del Carmen and Brendan Donnelly, who was hurt most of the year. Brian Corey, who pitched at the end of the season. Kyle Snyder, Eric Gagne, Javi Lopez.
All right, now we've got some support vehicles in between.
The confetti truck.
Yep.
It's an important important role. Red Sox brooms that they supplied for the sweep of the Rockies will come in handy once the parade makes its way through the city. So our vantage point now, we're just waiting for some more of this support personnel and a fire truck to move through before we get another look at some more of the duck boats. Still waiting on that flatbed too with
yes, we are, with Jump Applebaum on board along with the Dropkick Murphys playing. I think that this could be them right here. What do you think, Gene?
It looks like it. Yeah.
Behind the fire truck.
So this place is going to go bananas here shortly.
Yeah. Again, you guys are seeing the exact advantage that we are at home. So as you can see, there's that flatbed in the distance. A few of Boston's finest getting a little dew there.
And Papelbon is getting a little jiggy with it up there. I don't know if he gets get a pretty good shot at him. He is, man, he's just a college kid having a good time, isn't he? He's
I just
loving
keep
that.
saying it, you know, he's living the dream. I mean, who wouldn't trade him? It's
good
awesome.
for him for soaking it all in and
Got it.
and having fun and not taking himself too seriously.
And who's these guys on the ground, Gene? Is this the pep squad? I don't know if the folks at home can see them, but there's a group coming through first.
Yeah, they're like the pep squad.
They're like the
They're
cheerleaders.
the drop kick.
There he is.
Not disappointing.
Woo-hoo!
Looks a little like David Lee Roth, who will be over at the Garden tonight with Van Halen. And they're stopping right here.
He's working the crowd.
Got Mike Timlin on there with him too.
It is Mike Timlin on there.
This is definitely something we did not see last time out.
No, we did not.
Looks like we may get the Papelbon jig here, people.
All right, here we go. Get ready.
There's not much room, but he can work with it.
Oh,
Just
man.
unbelievable. We have a new hero in Boston. His name is Jonathan Papelbon. Y'all be cool.
Oh, that was awesome.
Wow. I'll tell you what, Kim, we still got a bunch of duck boats to go through here. Tough to top that. And I'm already going to go ahead and deem this better than what we saw in 04, even though they're not going into the Charles River.
This is better than any we've seen out here yet. That was unbelievable.
Great touch.
And we were so lucky because we're right here in the front row, and all these fans right here got to see it. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you think when they saw him, when he says he used to do that in college, you think they ever had any idea he'd be doing it on this big a stage?
No. You know what? And a great crowd, too.
That's great.
For the Dropkick Murphys to play in front of.
That's right. Just great.
They sounded great.
Yeah. Mike Timlin on there, you know, this may be it for Mike Timlin. I think he's sucking it all
Brilliant
up.
Brilliant career, too, and a class guy all the way through. Good guy in the clubhouse. There's some of the Red Sox promotional staff. They do a great job throughout the year as well.
Here comes Coco Chris.
Yeah, I got the outfield duck boat here.
J.D. Drew. Quirk Jacoby.
Kelty's loving this.
Yeah. There's Bobby Kelty on our side.
His career was on the scrap heap back in August, and then comes to Boston, makes some big contributions, home run in the World Series, and now this.
Here's Big Poppy.
Big Poppy's got a microphone. Tough to hear what he has to say, but I don't think anybody cares.
I don't think they do either. Manny Ramirez also on that duck boat.
And you got Barry and Elliott from Jordan's Furniture. They're getting as big a round of applause as anybody else. Hey, thanks for the couch. That was one of the all-time great promotions in the history of retail.
I'm betting they can't get an insurance policy to do it again.
I would say that. I would say that might be all done.
Yeah, so Poppy's trying to talk to the crowd, but it's hard to hear. He's telling people we love you.
Well, we talk about this being a once-in-a-lifetime experience for the fans. At the players, a lot of them have their own camcorders, and they're recording this. And they've got some great stories to tell all their family and friends when they head back to their respective homes. Yeah, and they need the videotape to prove it, because people say, you know what, I don't believe it.
Well, you know, some of these guys have been lucky to be a part of this before. A lot of them have never been a part of it. A lot of them will never be a part of one of these again. So you got to soak it in.
We're going on through. All right, we pull back. We get our next duck boat coming through. The captain and the catchers. It's Jason Veritek, Kevin Cash, and Doug Mirabelli, and there you see Veritek. A lot of Veritek shirts in this part of the crowd here.
Sure. Oh, they're just realizing who it is, and they're going crazy.
Here comes the duck boat with Mike Lowell on it, Julio Lugo, Alex Cora.
Here's Lowell
and he's
right
gonna get a huge ovation
they're all
here.
screaming. MVP, MVP.
He's loving it. Chant of re-sign Lowell going up again. Re-sign Lowell, re-sign Lowell.
The front office, folks. We got a number of boats.
Again, the organization does a great job taking care of those who work for them. A lot of these folks were flown out to Denver at the team's expense to take in the World Series and rewarded for their hard work.
Yeah, each time somebody in the crowd, a duck boat goes by that might have any kind of influence, everybody starts screaming, re-sign Low.
Yeah, I don't know. The announcers and broadcasters are going by here. I don't know if re-sign Lowell chant will work with these guys. There's Joe Castiglione on that boat there. Carl Bean, the bearded gentleman, is he is the guy who is the voice of Fenway Park over the public address system. Is that it?
You know, I got a feeling that no matter what happens, Gene, these people who are right here in front of us and in this block.
I'm not sure. Is that a new mascot or something at the back of this duck boat here? I'm not familiar with that.
I don't know. We'll have to see as they go by. But I think these folks were with Papelbon that they don't care what happens at this point. I mean, they really got their money's worth.
All right, more Red Sox front office personnel making their way through. And they're happy to get all the cheers too.
Yeah. Well, you know, these organizations don't stay together without all these folks,
Nope,
right?
they
They're
make it
holding
happen.
it together.
And it also kind of, you see how many people are going by. You don't realize how many people it takes to run the organization and how many things that are being done behind the scenes.
That's so true. Now, this is a very, very different rolling rally than what we've seen in the past.
It's rolling and it's coming to a stop, and then it's rolling and coming to a stop.
I feel like it's been a more intimate experience for probably people who are here to watch it, because they've really had an opportunity to get up close with the players here. They've stopped, they've pointed to people in the crowd, they've waved. It's been awesome.
And it's been a great crowd too. Yeah. Everybody's been well behaved, and it's working its way on down the line from where we are here at our vantage point.
Yeah.
So for those fans who may not be at Copley Square and they're worried about not getting the Dropkick Murphy show, they're stopping periodically along the route here, so everybody's going to get a little sampling of what we just witnessed here, which was fantastic.
You're absolutely right. It is amazing, too. This is another part of these that I always forget, but the second that the parade rolls by, the entire crowd has turned their backs to the street, and they begin that process of trying to get out of this area, which happens pretty quickly. But again, now we can go back to some of those up above photos, and you can see that those duck boats are continuing to roll.
It's like I believe this is a 3-mile parade route, but it's going to take them longer to go down this route than it would for VB to jog the 3 miles, and we know that's a lengthy amount of time.
Well, it's so worth it, and I'm so glad, because so many people come out, and when they roll by so quickly, it just sort of feels like you've been cheated. But at this point, that's not going to be the case.
I tell you what, these fans here at Copley Square, they're absolutely going bananas, and it was well worth it for them here. Look at them. QVB, let me tell you, it's a nut house up here.
It doesn't look like anybody's going home disappointed.
Gene dropping a Planet of the Apes reference. He had the 48 Hours one earlier. He's getting all his material out, Kevin Lemanowitz.
Well, who knew you were a runner? He talked about you jogging 3 miles.
Let me tell you, if I ran 3 miles, it might be tougher on the roads than this rolling rally going on right now. That's why I've decided against that.
No, we've been. I would say, Gene, that's the chant of the parade.
Yeah, you know, we've been watching one of these airplanes that what do they call these? Like the skywriting airplanes. Thank you, Kevin Lemanowitz.
Sky Fox doing
right, no, not quite. But he's been trying to write out Red Sox, but we think that the red is the R is fading and the E is fading as well.
Well, guess what? Guess what, son? They don't always win, for sure. They don't always win. So Bob Ward, who's been a fan as well, who suffered. He was at the '86 game. He was at all this stuff. He's going to take us back.
The Boston Red Sox have the swagger of champions, a second World Series victory in 3 short years, and suddenly the Boston Red Sox are at the very pinnacle of the baseball world. The team's blend of veterans and dynamic rookies has some sports writers talking dynasty. In other words, more trophies, more parades, more of this. The Red Sox are now so successful that younger fans might think it's always been this way and this easy. How quickly we forget.
Little roller up along first.
The 86-year championship Sox drought was the great albatross around the neck of every single Red Sox fan. It started back in 1918 when one Babe Ruth was sold to the New York Yankees. At the time, the Boston Red Sox really were a baseball dynasty, winning 5 World Series in just a few years. There was no Red Sox Nation, but there was the Royal Rooters, rabid Sox fans who followed the Sox everywhere while they taunted the other teams, usually with a song they rewrote, a song called Tessie.
This would be Tessie. Tessie, you make me feel so badly. Why don't you turn around?
Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Well, after that, Babe Ruth was sold and the New York Yankees racked up 26 World Series championships. And the Red Sox, well, they tried, but they just couldn't get it done. It was so bad, people thought Babe Ruth himself cursed the team. This guy climbed Mount Everest and tried to dispel the curse. Even Pedro Martinez jumped in.
And I don't believe in them curses. Wake up to Don Bambino and have me face him. Maybe I'll drill him in the ass.
In 2003, I visited Babe Ruth's grave in upstate New York, trying to convince the world, or at least the Japanese media, the curse didn't exist.
There's just Babe Ruth in his grave over here, and nothing more than that.
In New England, entire generations lived and died without ever seeing a single Red Sox team win at all. And every year victory seemed close, something happened. Every year until 2004.
Here it is, ground ball to second. Reese, the Boston Red Sox have won the pennant.
October 20th, 2004, the night the Boston Red Sox finally beat the New York Yankees at Yankee Stadium to win the American League Championship, that changed everything. This single hard-fought series forever enshrined the Boston Red Sox as winners.
For the first time since 1918, they are champions of the world.
The sweep of St. Louis in the World Series, an afterthought in the thrill of beating the Yankees. But it took decades of pain and anguish to set this moment up. And now the Boston Red Sox are World Series champs again.
Game over, series over, and the Red Sox are world champs again.
Enjoy every single moment, Sox fans. If there's any group who knows how precious these times are, how quickly it can all turn, it's Red Sox fans. Who knows when we'll get to see this again. I'm Bob Ward, Fox 25 News.
We enjoy it, Bob Ward. We enjoy it indeed. Live shot over the duck boats, winding this rolling rally down. What an incredible thing. If we could take a live shot here. These fans have been out here since 6 o'clock this morning. They're unbelievable. Even though things are wrapping up, they're hanging. Happy birthday. There's a kid who's holding a birthday sign. So
that's not a bad birthday present. You give it a day off from school and come to a World Series rally. Pretty sweet.
It's been fun. It's been fun. That's for sure. It's been quite a thing. One thing, and yeah, they're coming from all
Italy.
over the world.
Grazie.
It's great. You heard Antoinette interviewing somebody from Alaska, coming from Alaska. And that's the #1 sign. That re-sign Lowell. So it's Jacoby /Lowell /Papelbon / really all of them, because people just love their Red Sox. And they sure delivered this year. 2007 World Series champs.
You know, we talked about it earlier with Ryan Aselta, and that is the fact that, you know, after 2004, a lot of players left the team. It's got a big transformation. But now, the best thing about today is, you know, with the exception of a few big names, yes, there is the majority of players coming back and signed for quite a few years to come. So the outlook, the future, is extremely bright.
Yep, it is bright. So VB and Antoinette, they're up the street from us, guys. Any more crowds out there?
What were you just saying about Maria?
What?
Look at Mr. Big Time saying, oh man, she'd be mine. Nah, too late, man. You missed your chance.
He just asked, was she married?
Me.
Cover up.
What do you say, Maria?
Maria Stefanos, marry me.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
She's gonna turn away? She gave you the total cold shoulder. Last chance.
Maria Stefanos, will you marry me?
BB, how old is this kid? What class is he missing?
Marry me! Marry me! Marry me! Marry me! Marry me!
BB, take care of that for me.
He's taking him off. There's no way we're going to get it to stop.
I thought they were going to do the Papelbon dance. I thought they were going to do the
Maria, will you marry him if they do a mass Papelbon dance? She says yes. Let's go, boys. Now, come on. Bring it on, everybody. everybody, Papelbon dance. Come on, look at this. Get after it, everybody in.
Somebody stepped on my foot.
That's some good moves right there.
All right, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Maria said you should all go back to school.
Well, they're playing the music, VB. Let's get them stepping.
That's outrageous.
We got the music playing. They got to get stepping.
Come on,
Let's go.
music's going again. One more time. From the top.
With feeling this time.
Oh, yeah, that's some good moves right there, Q.
And you say so. Thank you very much, guys. All right, let me scoot
Hold on. Hold on. I'm not sure I'm clear on this. You guys want them to sign A-Rod? No! Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You want the Yankees to sign Mike Lowell? No! So if I got Theo, if Theo Epstein's watching that right now, do you guys want A-Rod? No! Don't sign A-Rod!
Don't sign A-Rod! Don't sign A-Rod! Don't sign A-Rod! Don't sign A-Rod! Don't sign A-Rod! Don't sign A-Rod! Don't sign A-Rod! Don't sign A-Rod! Don't sign A-Rod! Don't sign A-Rod!
I think we're clear.
Too close to call, really. I'm unclear what Red Sox Nation wants. Lowell, A-Rod, it's a very close vote down here off of Beacon Hill. Do you want A-Rod? Nobody wants A-Rod at this point. Hey, by the way, hold on. Where's my guy? One last pitch. Maria watched you in all your splendor. Make one more pitch for her.
Maria Stefanos, will you marry me?
What? He went to the knee! He went to the knee, Maria! He went down to the knee! Come on! You know what? Here's the thing.
Pot stir.
All right, Maria has said no, but we're not going to give up. This, hold on. This is Massachusetts right now. Ask Mark. No! I'm trying to hook you up!
There's anything wrong with that.
He said yes! 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 Come on, Mark! Look at that face! Look at that face, Mark! How could you not want a little... Put the bow on! That might do it!
I just hope his teacher isn't watching. Or the principal, worse yet. Oh, he has to wear the red boa.
Oh, my goodness.
How fitting.
Only VB, only in Boston. It's just the way it goes.
Boston tradition.
Hey, listen, VB just got all those kids to do the Papelbon dance, but why don't we look at the real thing?
Yeah. Papelbon, of course, making 3 stops to do the dance. 3 well-choreographed stops, I might add. At times, breaking into the dance in the jeans. And by the end, he had a broom in one hand and a kilt on.
All right, let's listen. We got the kilt.
We did. We knew that, this would be stop number 3 here at City Hall Plaza, and of course, he did not disappoint. In fact, did a couple of versions where they shut it down as well. And, just a sight to behold. I mean, you can think back to when Larry Bird was here telling Moses Malone what he could go and do.
Right here, City Hall Plaza.
You remember the Patriots and everything else, but this parade had such, you had the bullpen band, you had Papelbon and Timlin and Okajima, you had a little bit of everything. A of sideshows.
Isn't it great that all the kids out here know almost all the names of all the Red Sox players? I mean, because they're rock stars, they're heroes, people that they look up to, and they delivered and then some. We were talking about this before. There's a great sign that they're holding up. 2007 Boston to-do list. Win World Series, that one's checked off. Win the Super Bowl, which will be on Fox. We're ready to check that one off, too.
That's right.
Patriots have been unbelievable.
Win the BCS title. Of course, BC #2 in the nation. They got a shot. NBA title, a Stanley Cup. Could you imagine if we rolled the dice and they all came up? Hey, we rolled the dice and it worked out in the World Series. Roll the dice, man.
The MVP, the man, people keep chanting his name, Mike Lowell, talking to us before this all happened. Listen.
In this World Series, it was Els and Pedroia getting on base. It was you having big hits in the 2 home games. It was our bullpen doing a great job. We needed to have great starting pitching. We swung the bats pretty well. So it was collectively from top to bottom. Everyone did their part. And I think that's what makes it even more special, you know, that everyone truly feels like they had a major piece in bringing this title to Boston.
Mike, as we let you go here, we'll give you one chance.
And again, it's worth repeating that if you didn't know, the Mike Lowell was actually the guy they just added on in a deal that got Josh Beckett here. They kind of said, all right, we'll throw him into the mix. And that basically got the deal over. And I can remember people talking with him because the reason for that was he had one bad season right before he came to Boston. But as it turned out, it was, you know, a season where injuries were set in, and it was just an apparition, really. In the grand scheme of things, this guy's a multi-time All-Star, a Gold Glove winner. Now he's a World Series MVP.
And now what
he's
happens
won 2
to
rings,
him?
one here
What
and
happens
one in
to
Florida.
him? Do they sign him? They say that they don't like to sign guys who are getting later on in their years. And in baseball, his age is getting later on in their years. He wants a 4-year. They're going to give him a 2-year. Will he take that?
You know, if the fans had it their way, he'd be signed right now. He would have been signed before this parade even started today. We'd be celebrating a new contract with him. But, you know, calmer heads will prevail. And Theo Epstein, after the euphoria surrounding this all settles down, will sit down with his baseball operations people. They'll go through it. They'll take a look. He'll sit down with ownership. And then they'll make that decision. They will make that decision indeed.
They began at Fenway, and now they're ending at Fenway. Butch Stearns at the park. Butchie, there they are.
Yeah, Maria, they're coming in right now. You can see the players on the boats right behind me. We're going to get to talk to them as soon as they get off the boats. But you can see the boats coming in right now. There's Louis Tiant, Sam Horn, and the white boat's coming behind me, which has Dom DiMaggio and Johnny Pesky. And so the boats are pulling in now. It's interesting because talking to the people down here at Fenway, the plans changed like 3 or 4 times. They were expecting people to come in on buses, and now there's Dom DiMaggio. Hi, Dom, how are you? Absolutely, and there's Johnny Pesky. And here come some of the players' boats now. So as soon as these guys start getting off boats, we're going to get them in front of the cameras, and we'll get them to talk to us and find out how they felt about things that were going on. The Hardy fans that are here are chanting for anybody they see, and they're all chanting for Johnny Pesky right now. There's Larry Cancro, marketing wizard of the Red Sox. Say hi to the folks back home, Larry. There's a boat down there. Well, get a shot of my friend Larry Cancro here. Larry, you're on television. Say hello. Say hello, Larry. Larry's been in the Red Sox for way too long. How many years now, Larry? 33rd year with the Red Sox, and 2 parades now. All right, let's go back to you guys, and we'll come back down here as soon as they start getting off the boats.
You got to wonder what Daisuke Matsuzaka is thinking.
Daisuke, I'm thinking about Okajima. I'm thinking about Okajima doing the jig with Papelbon whenever he signed. And, you know, we think back, Daisuke got all the press when he signed, and rightly so, $103 million will do that. And that comes with it. But Hideki Okajima, I can remember being at that press conference and them saying this guy could be a valuable cog in the whole thing. And as it turned out, we now know him.
Absolutely.
You know, almost as well as you do Matsuzaka. When you're talking relief for the Red Sox bullpen, that guy provided it time and time again, to the point where they used him so much it was almost exhausted at the end.
Look at that flag right there. World Series champions, 2007. We were at Fenway last night and you saw the flag hanging up on the side. 2007, I thought, I cannot believe that we did this in 2004. And here we are again, it's 2007.
You know what it is, you look at it and you look down the row and you can see the different banners, and for a time it was divisional titles.
Yeah, right.
You know, it was pennants. And now you measure it in championships. The last 2, 04 and 07.
Right now you're looking at live pictures from Fenway Park. These players coming off the duck boats. getting ready to go and spend some private time with their families. I'm hesitant to do this. Hesitant.
What's that?
Because I just don't know what to expect. But I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm warning you, VB, no more marriage proposals. So I'm going to let you talk here.
Here's Dice K
All right,
signing
let's go to Dice K. That's
baseballs.
better than VB taunting me. That's great. You just think that this is a guy who just came here and he's taking this all in as well. All right, VB, are you there?
We're down to Kevin and Q.
Yeah, VB is around here somewhere.
Yeah, it sounds like we got all three of them.
Yeah, VB is around here somewhere. He is, I think, taking pictures and signing autographs himself.
We'd rather talk to you, Q. We'd rather talk to you, my friend.
You're less dangerous. Well, maybe not.
We've been looking at the Red Sox flag fly over Red Sox Nation for quite a while, but there is a different flag down here. Down for a second. I wanna show this guy's flag because because there's a lot of Dominican pride. There's a lot of Dominican pride here. What was it like for you seeing Big Papi in the World Series and seeing him on the Duck Boat?
Oh my God, that was the best experience I ever lived. I wasn't here for the last one in 2004, but now I'm living it, and I enjoy it. Let's go, Boston!
Talked to a lot of people here who said that they weren't really, a lot of women who said they weren't really sports fans, Red Sox fans until this season. Granted, she's on the phone right now, so say hey. Okay. Just put the phone down for a second. What's it like being down here?
It is enthusiastic. It is amazing. It's unbelievable. It's great.
Now, should you be in school today?
No.
No? Why not?
Because it's the Red Sox. I love them.
No school. He's from
No
New York,
school.
Q.
School's out. No school day. It's the parade. Come on. Yeah, we came all the way from...
Let's go to which, oh, look, there he is. Coach with Big Papi.
I'm with Manny Del Carmen. You had the drumsticks. How was it out there?
My hands are full of blisters right now. You know, the fans, you know, it was exciting.
What was it like to be on those boats with all these people?
It's awesome, you know that we won the World Series, and I mean, they've been supporting us all year round, and you know, it's just a great feeling.
And Papelbon stole the show.
Oh yeah, he's with his crazy dances and stuff is awesome.
All right, Manny, thanks.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care. All right, Mike Timlin is over here. I'm going to try and get... All right, let's go back to you guys, and I'll come back to me in a second.
All right, Butch is live at Fenway Park where the duck boats have just stopped there. We said it's a rolling rally the whole time, and they made their final stop there. The players are going to go there, go home to their families.
That's right, and it looks like there are quite a few fans as well that were down there at Fenway Park and understood the route a little bit, got a little heads up and made it back down there, much like they were there yesterday. Not certainly in the numbers that we saw here at City Hall Plaza or at Copley Square. But you're seeing that there were people who figured it out, followed the boats perhaps all the way back to Fenway Park for one more glimpse.
And if you're watching us on MyFox Boston on the live stream, we appreciate that. Thank you very much. So you are able to probably stay at home or
stay at work.
Or stay at work and watch this. And you can still go on there. You can chat. You can blog. We get polls you can take. You know, we're Red Sox Nation headquarters for sure.
You know, speaking of watching from work, I couldn't get over the amount of people who came to their windows. You know, there was a smattering, but as soon as the parade came underneath us and past us, we looked over, and you pointed out, tapped me on the shoulder, we looked up, and it seemed like almost every window was filled, and there were people 4 or 5 to a window all looking out, trying to get a glimpse of these guys going below them.
They've got the best seat in the house. Live pictures now, people just loving this whole entire rolling rally. We started here at 10 o'clock in the morning on FOX25, and there were a lot of people here, and we thought, wow, there are so many people here. And then it just filled, and now it's sort of back to where it was at 10 o'clock in the morning. People are making their way either back to work or going home.
They are, but from all... No doubt about it.
The sea of brooms, too, and you saw Jonathan Papelbon picking up one of those brooms, and he's dancing again. Little
He's
air
got
guitar.
that broom again, the air guitar.
What a route they took. They started at Fenway Park, where they brought it all home last night, going to thousands of fans there. Then they make their way down Boylston through Copley Square, Park Street, and now they're making their way right here to City Hall.
Everybody wondering why the blue lights have stopped. Well, obviously there's some work to be done up in the Park Street area.
This is performance number 2 for Papelbon and the drop kicks right now.
Performance of 2 of what we think will be 3.
I think the big one's coming when he finishes up here with us.
This is the finale when they get here.
Now the question is, and there are a lot of people out here with signs, where's Mr. Josh Beckett? He promised to dance, and people are trying to hold him to that because people are writing the signs.
You know what? When they finish up here, maybe they're going to stop the boats. He can hop on the flatbed and join the band. Yeah, he owes it to him, right? He made the promise.
I think back to the Bears, Jim McMahon, and I look at Papelbon. I mean, separated at birth, these two guys. I mean, they look like it, don't they? When the
And
Bears
Mark
won the
Ockerblue.
Super Bowl.
The
Oh,
three.
no. Not even close. I mean, come on. Look at these two guys. Talk about taking over a city. You know, the shades, the blonde hair, they look exactly the same, just different generations.
All right, guys, so we are at City Hall Plaza. This place is insane. Streets are shut down. We just see a couple of police vehicles which had just stopped, and they're getting closer and closer and closer, and there are so many people here. You know, our photographer Jeff Lazarino was here with me in 2004 and said, what do you think? I think there are more people here today in 2007 than there were in 2004. I'd say it's a tie, like Kurt Schilling said about an hour ago. It's a tie.
Yeah, I guess you can't compare the teams. You can't compare the crowds and the rallies as well. I mean, this place is just as electric as it was back in 2004. They have the signs out. We see some cool signs out here. The guy who had the checklist that had Red Sox World Series. Next up was Patriots Super Bowl, NBA,
Bruins.
BC National Championship.
All that. All right, Kevin Lemanowitz, VB, and Quinette Jameson hanging out at our Beacon Hill studio. Where are they in reference to where you guys are?
We see a lot of people cutting through the common right now, so we're thinking that they've just about passed us by. We also see a large contingent of police officers making their way to the parade route. So we have a lot of people, though, coming up, and they're headed actually to City Hall Plaza. They're cutting through here. So we're thinking that most of the parade has passed this location.
That's the view from Skyfox, looks like it. They're not far away. We can hear the band playing.
Someone carrying a mannequin around with a Red Sox jersey. That was a new one for me.
Yeah.
And the mannequin looked about 8 feet tall, by the way. But you know what? You bring things to a rolling rally, and you never know what you're going to see when you come to these
yeah,
things.
speaking of what you never know what you're going to see, there's an alien. Yeah.
Come here! Come here!
You gotta see this.
Remember Dice K? Remember Dice K as the Teletubby? Here we go! Here we go!
You know what?
Looking
I
good.
have to wear my Pedroia shirt because Pedroia is my boy. I love the Red Sox. You know what? Hi, Mom.
What'd you say about having a crazy
Okay,
crowd
we
down
have to
here?
talk.
We're having fun.
Remember the joke, Daisuke had to wear the Teletubby outfit.
This happens everywhere.
All right, so we'll take it from BB because there's just
BB's,
nothing for him to say right now. It's all around him. So as we are here at City Hall Plaza, you can feel the crowd has shifted, turned, anticipation, thousands and thousands of people as far as your eye can see.
Exactly right. I'm looking way down here past the sign that, by the way, reads Medfield loves you, Kurt. So his town has come out to represent him here. But you can look all the way down, one of the streets to the other, as far as I can see, just as you said. And it is packed with people now.
Duck boats making their way along this rolling rally through the streets of Boston. Could not ask for a better day. It is absolutely gorgeous. People are well behaved. We do see some police presence up on top of these buildings. But it is absolutely just, it's a nice family day out here right now.
Yeah, we're awaiting the players coming down here a little bit earlier. Of course, at Fenway Park, they did interviews at the ballpark prior to getting on the boats. And Kurt Schilling was one of the players they talked with.
I was caught off guard when I got here, but the passion is quick to identify, easy to feel every day in this ballpark. And there's no other sporting venue, no other relationship in the sports world that matches the Red Sox fans and the Red Sox organization, and it's a special thing, and it's something I'll forever thank God being able to be a part of.
You know, Curt Schilling is absolutely loving this day.
He's savoring it because he's not sure if he'll have another one of these with the Red Sox
Guess
or
what,
any
Mark?
other team. For
Sorry
that
to
matter.
interrupt you, my friend, but the duck boat.
Yes, we see
right
our
there,
first
guys.
duck boat. The confetti is flying between the buildings, pouring out in red and blue and white. And our first duck boat, a long way off, I'd say about, from our vantage point, about 1,000 yards away.
All the fans who have been turned towards the television cameras do not care about us now.
Exactly
they care
right.
about their world champion
Here's
Red Sox.
what they came for.
It is absolutely what they came for. It's been quite a road since April, and look where they've come. This is terrific.
And how many kids are on top of someone's shoulders? Dads, their
nice.
big
With all their
brothers,
Red
whoever
Sox
it may be.
shirts. Yeah,
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
and
terrific.
you can hear the wall of sound start from down the left end here as we look out, making its way back towards us.
All right, guys, let's take a look at the owners on the boat. They have the World Series trophy, and, you know, they're holding it up to the fans. How do you not love that? People with their cell phone cameras taking pictures, just taking this whole entire moment in, thinking, this was a good day to call in sick to work. This is a good day to blow off school for the day.
No doubt about it. John Henry, Larry Lucchino, Tom Werner, getting a glimpse of what we've seen all morning long, and that is thousands upon thousands here at City Hall Plaza, where so many great Boston sports teams have been celebrated, past championships. This really is the area. You got Copley, you've got the other places, but people know this is going to be the final launching point for today. This is going to be where the Red Sox players, I think, really breathe it in and drink it in.
What we're hoping is now we're towards the end of this rally. What we're hoping is this is where they're going to stop for Papelbon, and he's going to do his thing, his Irish jig, and, you know, he's going to play up to the crowd. They all are. They're all waving and thinking, you know, I think people are here to see each and every one of them, from the old greats, older greats, to the young new guys, Pedroia and Ellsbury.
The first duck boat starting to make its way a little bit closer now, only about 50 yards away from us as they move in, and now we look back behind that one, and you can see several more still to come.
Let's listen to Jason Varitek right before this whole thing started.
Nothing can ever replace that, because there's a lot of heartache that went for so many years. Hopefully this is even more enjoyable, that they could actually enjoy it, and rather than be so exhausted from just the relief of 86 years.
There he is, Tech.
Talking about how the Red Sox have not had the pressure that they've had on after 2004 and finally getting the monkey off their backs. They're able to go out now and concentrate a little more on baseball, but then again, the expectation bar has been raised as well.
John Henry right there.
Well, now we can see him. All right, here we go. There's John Henry. Larry Lucchino in the back of the duck boat wearing his familiar Red Sox cap.
Of course, the boats are right in front of us now. We are right in the thick of City Hall Plaza with a couple thousand Red Sox fans, that's for sure, surrounding us. Coming down here, some of them at 6 o'clock in the morning, just to get the best spot to get close to their World Series champions. Just Sunday, of course, on Fox, you saw them take the whole thing in a sweep, 4-0. Shutting down the Colorado Rockies. There's Stacy Lucchino right there on top, waving to everybody. Does a lot of things for charity, as does the Red Sox organization.
You can hear the chants of "Let's Go Red Sox" as we tighten up the shot here. We'll take a look at Theo Epstein, the boy wonder GM. We've seen him grow up in this organization. We've seen him assume the role of GM here in Boston, and then, of course, leave.
And come
what
back.
Will be an anniversary tomorrow for him, but then come back as the gorilla suit has been retired, at least for now.
Don't forget, you can go to our website, myfoxboston.com. You can still do these shout-outs at myfoxboston.com. You can watch this whole thing live. All right, so what we're hearing all over the place throughout this entire rolling rally from Fenway to right here at City Hall Plaza is "Resign Lowell," which Theo, I think, has heard it and heard it again, and he told our Butch Stearns on Sunday night. He said, yeah, we love Mike and we'd love to have him stay.
Here's Theo Epstein now right in front of us. Theo taking his hat off to the crowd, and they respond in kind.
There go the cameras, there go the cell phones. And Theo waving back, thumbs up, saying thank you, and Terry Francona.
Terry Francona, DeMarlo Hill, the third base coach. He's got such a fine staff with him. Dave Magadan, the hitting coach. John Farrell, the pitching coach, and what a job he's done. And we've talked about the fact that the Pittsburgh Pirates are looking at him to be their manager. Fans running up, trying to maintain their glimpses, running along, trying to get to City Hall Plaza from other vantage points along the route.
All right, so now the crowd is reacting to Terry Francona in the most positive of ways. Tim Wakefield, Curt Schilling, and Josh Beckett somewhere on the back of that boat, probably still wearing the shades you can imagine. Again, we're at City Hall Plaza. It's a gorgeous day. The sun is shining.
There's Curt Schilling right there with Josh Beckett. Schilling encouraging the crowd to cheer louder as he uses the video camera in the other hand.
Here's what I love. Red Sox fans, you know, Curt Schilling can be in that hat, and he can be dressed down, and he can wear those glasses. They know who these Red Sox players are. They don't need these signs underneath them to say who they are. I'll tell you that.
There are some of the former players, including Jim Corsi, of course.
And our very own Fox analyst, Dwight Evans, who was with us throughout the ALCS.
That's right.
And through the whole entire World Series. Red Sox great, Dwight Evans, class guy. We really enjoyed having him as part of our team for sure.
Boy,
and now he's back with his original team. Johnny Pesky, another Red Sox great.
Take a look from up high as well. What a shot we just had. And you got the sense of how this is filled up down here. And again, you take a look at the magnitude of this crowd in the city of Boston today to celebrate the world champions. Incredible.
Yeah, I love the response that you get to the former players as well. We just love the Red Sox, from the young to the old. And we're looking at a sea of families out here, kids up on their dad's shoulders, on their mom's shoulders. A lot of kids skipping school. Dustin Pedroia, Eric Hinsky on these duck boats, waving, saying thanks. You know, we're coming towards the end of this rolling rally, and nobody's getting tired here, and they look like they're still loving it on those duck boats.
No doubt about it. Interesting to see, you know, just when you think every kid's got a vantage point, every person has a vantage point, they find a truck that happened to be parked in a spot, and they just jumped on the hood and on the...
Great thing is that they're up high enough, so if you're back here in the crowd, about 50 deep now, you can see these people, no problem.
Now we're getting our chance for Kevin Youkilis. The Uke birds are out.
We'll do it. All right, just so you know right now, so we've seen about, I would say about 7 duck boats go by. And right now, the World Series trophy is still at Boylston and Park. We're at City Hall Plaza. So this parade is still a party, Hang with us.
You guys had a shot at John Lester. John Lester, of course, overcoming cancer, getting the start in Game 4. Daisuke Matsuzaka now, along with Lester, making their way down to the City Hall Plaza. And then the bullpen crowd. Eric Gagne, Manny Del Carmen with the drumsticks. We also have Kyle Snyder, Brendan Donnelly, who you recall had to go on IR, had to go on the injury list, the disabled list. They're all here, who started the season and those who finished as well.
Let's listen to Big Papi before the parade.
The people to have fun. They deserve this. This is for you guys. We win. We stay strong through the whole year, and we have a lot of support from the fans. Our fans, the best. So hopefully they enjoy this. They deserve this.
All right, guys. So this is the moment that we've been waiting for. Dropkick Murphys and a little Jonathan Papelbon waving that broom, trying to reach out to fans.
He's got a lot of company waving a broom. I haven't seen this many
Let's see if he hits this. See, here
in
comes
a while.
balloon. Hopefully hopefully what they're
the
going to do.
crowd is going to egg him on. The crowd wants it, and he's going to play to the crowd.
What we're hoping is that they stop here and he can do his little dance that he's promised.
It's Mike Timlin up on top. Looks like he's got the video camera going. He's been down this route before, and now they've stopped the truck.
Okay.
And they're getting ready to strike up the band. And Casey was part of our pregame show.
Ken Casey he was great. He said he's been a lifelong Red Sox fan, that his dad, I believe, or his grandfather knew Johnny Pesky, and he used to go down to the park as a boy and take it all in there, and now he's here, and he says it never gets old for him. He's a huge fan.
What a lift for this group, the Dropkick Murphys, to have Jonathan Papelbon along for the ride, and they both have fed off each other, and look at their careers now.
It's funny, Ken Casey was saying to us that he brought his friends to the park, you know, during the season, and he was hoping that they play, you know, one of their songs, and they never played it that particular day, and he said he felt badly about that. So Papelbon apparently has put the kilt on.
Okay.
Well, now this is the real deal right here.
This is what we're looking for.
All right, let's
Actually,
check this out.
It looks as though it's being applied. There it is.
There it is.
He now has it on.
Kilt
He's
is
raising
on,
the broom.
broom in hand. Let's listen.
Okajima. See, Hideki Okajima is playing along as well on the side here.
Rowing that boat, Papelbon. Glasses are down, cigars. Kilt is on.
I thought we weren't going in the Charles today. Apparently we are. Check it out. They're going to stop it again, so everybody gets a good look.
The music, you can hear the music really well out here. What a party.
Dance moves on to Tessie.
City Hall Plaza erupting in applause. All eyes on one man right now. We're here for the love of the whole team, but all eyes on that man in a kilt, Jonathan Papelbon. Fox.
We'll leave out the myth. The man, the myth, the legend. What do you think?
Sure, we'll put it all in there
We'll
for
throw it
right
back
now.
in there. Unbelievable as the crowd was waiting, hoping, sensing. They'd seen it on the big screen. They'd seen Jonathan Papelbon break into the jig at 2 other stops, and they were just hoping against hope it would happen again here in City Hall Plaza, and it did.
Who wants to see this guy get crazy?
Oh, they're egging on Beckett now. They will ask, do you want to see Josh Beckett? Well, we'll keep an eye on this for a while.
It's funny, the office building right up above
It looks
us
as
right
though
now.
Mike Timlin's going to jump in as well.
All right.
He has put down the camera. He's revving up the crowd. Papelbon's got some company.
This is what they came for.
There they go. He's got a partner.
Dancing with Mike Timlin.
And Hideki Okajima.
Love it, love it.
He's international. That's an encore.
In my 42 years, I've seen a lot of concerts. That might have been one of my favorite ones.
I'll second that. Here we go. Dirty water. Can't be here, the drop kicks will definitely stand in.
We'll take it, we'll take it. Of course, they are heading down towards the river now, but they're not going in today. This rolling rally coming through City Hall Plaza right now. The highlight, absolutely without a doubt. Mr. Papelbon singing, lead, dancing to the drop kicks.
He's even helping being a choreographer out there for Timlin and Okajima. Incredible. Still to come, more players. I mean, we've still got more duck boats. Taking a look at Jacoby Ellsbury. J.D. Drew snapping off some pictures. Coco Chris, Bobby Kelty. And so it goes here in the city of Boston.
down. Manny and David right there.
Waving the Dominican
crowd.
flag, and there are several in the audience as well.
Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're still at JD Drew and Coco and Chris, but we're seeing Big Papi and Manny coming right up behind them.
They wave on by, and this is what they see as they go by. 100 deep, not a reach. There it is, David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez, Julian Tavares, Royce Clayton, who was mic'd up during our Fox broadcasts in the dugout. They and their families enjoying the celebration.
Okay, so they're holding up signs. The Red Sox players are holding up signs saying, "Resign Lowell."
Jason Varitek.
That's priceless.
The captain.
You know, he probably grabbed it out of the crowd and took great advantage of what all of Red Sox Nation is feeling.
You can see Jason Varitek, camera in hand. He knows how special this is. Has a video from '04. Now he's got a compliment. There he is, the MVP.
There he is, yep. Smiling bright, for sure. Crazy for this man, crazy.
Not only do they hear it from the crowd, he sees it in the crowd. He can see all the signs. So easily the #1 sign here.
Absolutely. It was the buzz. Hey, if Tech is holding up a sign supporting him, you know that's what it's all about today.
You're right.
And that right there is for our producer, Kim Bingham. She has her little Wally doll right there by her desk. We always thought of it as our good luck charm, one of many. There he is right there for you, Kimmy. The brooms are up, the flags are up, the signs are up, the hands are up, the cell phones are up, the players are waving.
And of course now the sun has gone behind one of the big buildings here, which is casting quite a glare into some people's eyes. They had to wait until the boats are actually right in front of them. Now they can look down about 150, 200 yards and see some more boats coming in and not be having the sun shine right in their eyes. So they're really getting a glimpse of what is going on here at City Hall Plaza.
There are people all around us, in front of us, behind us, to the side of us, everywhere. People looking at those jumbotrons, which have really come in handy for sure because there are just so many people. The streets can't accommodate all the people. The jumbotrons allow people and afford people the luxury of being able to take part in all of this. People hanging off the buildings, out of the windows,
and in the offices, all around here. They all came to the windows as soon as the parade went down below them. And City Hall Plaza, which was, I would say, 3/4 full earlier, a lot of those people that they talked about running from Beacon Hill trying to stay with this motorcade, with this rolling rally, have landed here because now it's full.
Let's listen to the crowd. It's just overwhelming.
You talk about positive energy. This is it at a 10 rating.
Final duck boat making its way through City Hall Plaza. They came, they started at Fenway Park, put on quite a show all the way down this rolling rally through the streets of Boston. Unbelievable. It is unique and it is special to be part of being a Boston fan here, to be able to come out on a beautiful day, look at these guys on these duck boats, and just have this mutual admiration. The fans to the players to the fans. They're on duck boats. People can take part in all of this. It's great.
It certainly is. The players, you know, it's kind of like what happens once the boat stops and you get off if you're a player. you probably just relive it in your mind all day long, much like the fans who are
Sure.
here today do. You know, people go home now, they got a picture on their cell phone, they got their cameras, they're going to look at this. Of course, we'll have more of this coming up tonight on the Fox 25 News at 5, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning as well. So, I mean, it's just going to be relived over and over again because this is one of those significant points in the history of Boston sports.
You know, it wouldn't have mattered if it was snowing today. These people would be out here just as happy, just as enthusiastic. And the guy who predicted this perfect weather, Kevin Lemanowitz. Kevin, can you hear us?
Sure, I'll take credit for the weather, but I have a better story than that, Zell. It's going to get loud down here, but we're talking to Alec. Alec, tell me how you got these red sticks in your hand.
I was at the corner of Boylston and Tremont, and just so you know, Brennan Donnelly tossed them right down to me, looking right at them.
So part of the bullpen band throws you the sticks. Are you a drummer?
I am not a drummer. My friend is, and maybe he'll get them.
Think you might become one now?
Probably now, with that support.
Now, where are you from, Alec?
I'm from Sharon, Mass.
Maybe I should ask you, what school are you skipping today?
Sharon High School.
Sharon High School. And look back here, guys. Remember Theo? How we used that gorilla suit to escape Fenway? He's back today. Are we going to re-sign Lowell? Woo! All right, Lowell it. What about A-Rod? A-Rod?
He's dressed as Theo.
Looking good. Theo's looking good. And check this out right here. In case you had any doubts. A-Rod. More school skippers, teachers, look. Yeah! Fitchburg High. They came from far out, too. We're having a good time down here. Obviously, people are excited. They're on their way to City Hall Plaza. I hijacked them to stop here. We've got Brendan Donnelly sticks. We've got Theo Epstein in gorilla costume. And, of course, a perfect day for it, guys. What do you think? Looking good down here?
We think you're having a blast down there, Kevin. You're having as much fun as Jonathan Papelbon.
I love the guy in the gorilla suit. I know it wasn't Theo because I just saw him go by on a duck boat.
No,
I don't want to get people alarmed.
No, don't get people
Okay,
alarmed.
that's an imposter. He has nothing to do with who gets signed and who doesn't by the Red Sox.
All right, so these duck boats making their way down Cambridge Street in downtown Boston.
Here's
right
the
here in City
situation.
Hall Plaza. All right, go ahead, give it to me.
People got to leave now.
Not yet. We're still having fun. This is still a party. This
I don't know.
is still
Everybody's
a
looking to
thank
their
you.
right, to their left, figuring, where do I go next?
Now there's still.
And there ain't much room to go anywhere.
No, see what a lot of people are doing right now is that they're trying to get down Cambridge Street following these duck boats. But what the Red Sox players are going to do is they're going to get off those duck boats and then go celebrate privately with their families, as you heard Anquinette say a little bit. All right, so while we're looking at these live pictures from City Hall, Big Uke when he came out. Let's listen to him before.
You know, a lot of us guys that come up through the system, it's unbelievable that we get to feel it all the way from, you know, when we first step in at Lowell and get to see the excitement of Boston Red Sox Nation. And I think for us, you know, it's unbelievable. They keep coming out, and I think you owe a lot to, you know, the ownership and front office of doing a lot of great stuff to keep the community involved.
You talking about coming up through the system, and the Red Sox are developing more and more players like that as well, which is a positive omen going forward.
We saw Mike Timlin throughout this whole series with his kids and, you know, just getting into it and participating in everything. And the cherry on the Sunday, dancing with Jonathan Papelbon. Let's listen to Mike Timlin.
In 04, it was hard to believe. I've been here for so long and know, you know, the history of the Red Sox and getting to the postseason and not winning the World Series here and there. And I think the thought today will be the same. You know, it's pretty incredible that we've won 2 World Championships in the past 4 years, and the way our ball club is set up now, hopefully we can continue this streak and hopefully make it a dynasty here in Boston.